Hi Year 9s, welcome to Maths. Today we are doing another surface area problem, but this time, as you can see from my diagram, it's going to be a cylinder. And that's why I brought you these cylinder lollies here. Unfortunately, I can't share them with you, so I'll just have to enjoy them. The cylinder that I'm going to look at today is a common cylinder. You've all got one in your house, I'm sure. So this is a toilet tube. And you can see that a cylinder is a little bit like a prism in that it's got a top and a bottom which are the same shape and the sides are parallel. It's very easy for me to demonstrate with this toilet tube because it's cardboard and I can cut it open so you can see what it's made of. So the first thing we're going to do is we can see that the top and the bottom are of course circles. So there's the top and the bottom, two circles. So to work out the surface area of the cylinder, the first thing we need to do is we're going to have two circles, top and bottom. The other shape, this shape in the middle, we need to cut it open. Maybe you can tell already what shape it's going to be when we cut it open and lay it flat. Okay. So cut it open, lay it out flat, and you can see that this shape is a rectangle. So our cylinder is made of two circles. Oh, I can't spell properly. Why is that not zipping? Two circles and one rectangle. Okay. Circles. So do you know how to work out the area of a circle? Yes, you do. You need some measurements. In the diagram here, you can see it's got a height and a radius. So I'm just going to take my circle. I'm going to measure the distance from side to side. And that tells me that the diameter is 5 centimetres. And therefore the radius is going to be 2.5 or 2.5 centimetres. So that is our radius. And the other dimension we need for the cylinder is the height. So I'm just going to measure top to bottom on this toilet tube. And it turns out that the height of this cylinder is 10 centimetres. All right, two circles, one rectangle. How do you work out the area of a circle? We know that formula. The area is equal to pi r squared. So the area of this circle at the top is going to be area is equal to pi times 2.5 squared. So times 2.5 times 2.5. So I'll bring up my calculator and I'll do that multiplication now. Pi times 2.5 times 2.5 equals 19.6. And the units is centimetres squared because it's an area. So that's the area of the top circle. It's also the area of the bottom circle. So I'm going to need to add that number twice. The next thing we need to look at is this rectangle. Okay, so the area of a rectangle, where am I going to write this? Area of a rectangle is equal to length times width. So I'll just draw a nice big rectangle over here, which represents the rectangle that I've cut open, this cardboard rectangle. So we've got one distance already, because you remember that this distance here was just the height of the cylinder. So this distance here is 10 centimetres. This other one here, the long side, is a little bit not as simple. We can't, if the cylinder is still wrapped up like that, we can't measure it with a ruler. So what we're going to have to remember is that the distance around the edge of the circle here, when we open it out, that distance is that same as the distance from here to here. So I'll do that again. So the distance from here to here, we wrap it around. That's the distance around the circle. Okay, so what do we call the distance around a circle? Is the circumference. So this vertical distance here is just the height of the cylinder, the same as this height over here on the left. And this side of the rectangle is going to be the circumference of the top circle. All right, so the circumference, formula for circumference is 2 pi r. So in this case, it's going to be 2 times pi times 2.5. Bring up my calculator here. 2 times pi times 2.5 equals, that's wrong. I must have done something wrong. Try again. 2 times pi times 2.5. I missed hitting a button. So it's 15.7. 15.7 centimeters. This is not an area, it's just a distance. It's the circumference. Or the circumference is also the length of this side of the rectangle. All right, now we've got the length, 15.7, and this width of this rectangle, so we can work out the area. So this area is equal to 15.7 times 10, and I can do times 10 in my head. That's 157 centimeters squared. All right, now we've got it. We've got a circle at the top here. We've got our rectangle, and we've got our other circle at the bottom. So now we can work out the total surface area of this cylinder. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to get two circles, so 19.6 plus 19.6, that's the two circles. And then we're going to add our rectangle area. Bring up a calculator. 157 plus 19.6 plus 19.6 equals 196 centimeters altogether. Wasn't exactly 196, was it? 196.2 centimeters squared. This is our answer. That's pretty tricky, so I will go through another example of that for you, but I just highlight the things that we've talked about. A cylinder is made up of, the surface of a cylinder is made up of two circles, so the top circle and the bottom circle, and when you open up the third surface, it's a rectangle. The two circles and a rectangle, you therefore need to add those together. The hard thing for you to remember is that this distance on the rectangle is the circumference of the circle. So I'll do another example in another video for you.